We continue now at the top of Daf Kufnon Chesam at Aleph and Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 158a. The Mishnah says, Nafal habayis olav avial ishto. Let's say the house falls upon him and on his wife, and we don't know which one of them died first. Yorshe habal omrim, the heirs of the husband, they say, Isha mesa rishona, that the wife is the one that died first, v'achar kach mes habal, and then the husband died, which would mean that the husband inherits his wife, and then they inherit the husband. But Yorshe ha'isha omrim, the heirs of the wife, they say the opposite. Baal mes rishon, that the husband died first, v'achar kach mes isha, and then the wife died, and therefore they are the ones that inherit the wife's property. And so in this case, we have a machlokas tanoim. Beis Shammai Omer, Beis Shammai say yachloku, the property has to be divided. We don't know who died first, and therefore they split the property. Beis Hillel Omer, Beis Hillel say nechasim becheskasan, the property remains in the status of whoever has possession of the property. And the Mishnah continues, ksuba becheskas yorshe habal, the ksuba would be in the possession of the heirs of the husband, and nechasim hanichnasin v'hayotzin ima, the property that is brought into the marriage and leaves with her, which is what we refer to as the nichsei melug, becheskas yorshe ha'av, that's going to be in the possession of the heirs of the father, means to say it came from her father, therefore it stays in that status. And the Rashbam explains, Beis Shammai Omrim Yachloku, Beis Shammai say in this case they split the possessions, Sharei Mammon Mutal B'Safek, this is a situation of money which is in doubt, Mammon Mutal B'Safek, Hu V'yesh Mefarshim B'Yavamis, and the Rashbam says, some say in Yavamis, Ba'acholitz, in Perak Acholitz, Da Ksuba Lo Pligi, that this Machlokas Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel does not apply to the Ksuba, they are not arguing in that case, Da Ksuba Lo Pligi Beis Shammai Ela Ashara, Beis Shammai would not argue, they would not say that they split it by the Ksuba, they're just arguing by the other possessions, Beis Hillel say nechasim becheskasim, that the property remains with whoever has possession of the property. The Gemara mefarish becheskas mi. Now the Gemara is going to explain who has the property, who's considered to be in possession of the property. Hilkach lav lekamei kai. Therefore, you have to say that this line of nechasim becheskasim is not going. It's not relevant to the next line. The next line of the Mishnah says that the ksuba is becheskas yorshe habal, and the nechasim hanichnasim v'hayotzin ima is becheskas yorshe yoav. So therefore, this first line of nechasim becheskasim must refer to some other kind of property. Elahachi garsinan. And so the Rashbam says the proper text is as follows. Uksuba becheskas yorshe habal. It's not ksuba becheskas yorshe habal. You have to put a vav over there. Uksuba. It's a new sentence. The ksuba is in the cheskas yorshe habal. And again, the nechasim hanichnasim vayotzin ima is becheskas yorshe ha'av. V'hani nechasim dekamri Beis Hillel. And now these nechasim that Beis Hillel is talking about, hein nichsei tzon barzel. That's referring to nichsei tzon barzel. Sheichnisa mi beis aviha. That is the property that she brought in from her father's house. V'shaman b'chsubasa. And then it was evaluated, it was placed into the ksuba. V'achrayusam olav. And he took achrayus and pichsu lo. If they depreciated, it depreciated for him. V'im hosiru lo. And if it increased in value, that's considered his profit. That's nechasim tzon barzel. That's what we're talking about over here when Beis Hillel say nechasim becheskasan. That's talking about that kind of property. And the Rashbam continues, Uksuba becheskas yorshe habal. The ksuba, that's in the chazaka of the yorshe habal, of the husband, mana umasayim v'tosefes, shemamon habal royli nasein la. This is the money of the husband that's supposed to be given to her. That's why it's cheskas yorshe habal. Hilkach misafik lo sotzienu mecheskas habal. Therefore, in a case of doubt, we don't take it from the possession of the husband, umecheskas yorshim, and from the possession of his heirs. And finally, the Rashbam says, nechasim hanichnasim v'yotzim ima, the property that's brought into the marriage and leaves with her, that's different than nichsei tzon barzel. By nichsei tzon barzel, it's a certain value that she brings into the marriage. We evaluate what that property is, and then he owes that value to her. That's what the husband owes to the wife. That's why we say that the profits of the property or the depreciation of the property is upon the husband. But by nechasim hanichnasim v'yotzim ima, heina nichsei melug, that refers to nichsei melug, shenaflu mi beis ha'av ve'in achrayus on olav. That comes to her from her father, and there's no responsibility. The husband does not take responsibility for that property. She essentially is the owner of that property the whole time. If the property increases in value, that goes to the wife. If the property decreases in value, that goes to the wife. So that's already becheskas yorshe yoav. That already, it's in the chazaka of the heirs of her father, shemei avia bo'ula, because that came to her from her father, and therefore that stays in that chazaka in this situation. And we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kufnon Ches Amud Beis.